welcome to a fun hair tutorial video. This is going to be nothing fancy because it is late on a Friday night. I'm about to get started on my 4-year-old's hair, and I'm going to finish tomorrow with some daytime footage so you can kind of get close up and see how I'm doing the hair. So what I use today is, it is Expression. It is the Premium Stylist Ultra Braid. Color is 8. Hi, buddy. And this is normally $5.99. It was on sale for $3.99. It is 82 inches long. So I'm gonna show you how long it was. It was longer than this. I split it up, so I'm trying to show you like how long it actually was, but I cut it already. But it was like basically past my waist, like way past my waist. And that was like from the top of my head. So hi buddy. I did cut it already. I cut it in half and it's still like really long. And it's really thick. So this is one pack that I got for $3.99 on sale at our beauty supply store. And this should cover Arrow's whole head. Because she's 4, she has a smaller head, and I do probably medium-sized box braids. So I don't need a ton of hair. She doesn't have super thick hair as of right now. So I don't need like a ton of hair for each one. Yes, buddy?
Remember that one time, like a long time ago, like when you guys were like watching like the movie, but I didn't like to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if I could spend like just for 1 minute.
For a little bit you can. So it's normally 82 inches long. You can use
Histories of Moms.
Thank you, honey. I love you. But now what I'm going to do to make sure that I don't have a bunch of these type of rough edges is I'm going to split it up, and I'm just going to kind of, oh, it's a little tangly. I'm going to need to get physical. Normally I'll just brush it out. My kids are watching a movie. They usually get to watch movies while we braid hair, so they already have the movies on, but I just need to get a brush through this and just make sure. But when I pick out each of these pieces, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split them up like this too. So I'm just trying to get it a little bit done now. An easier way so that you can avoid this situation is just to get like pre-stretched hair that's already kind of tapered at the end. You're gonna see some hair that's like thick and chunky at the ends, and then it's ones that get like thinner towards the ends, like most hair if you haven't had a fresh haircut. So if you go with that style, you don't have to do this as much. This is just gonna help if you want a chunky bottom at the end of the braid. Keep it like this because you're gonna get it with that look. But I would only do that if you're ending it with a ponytail or beads or something like that. But I will probably be doing, I actually might be putting beads in her hair, big wooden beads. But like, let's say you're gonna be dipping the ends of the hair in like hot water. You are not gonna want chunky ends for that. It's not gonna stick as well as if you had tapered ends. So this really helps in that process. And again, when I'm ready to braid and I take my section out to braid with, I'm going to do this with just this section a few times, just because of the hair I bought. And I don't mind doing this as I'm braiding. And also it was $3.99 to do an entire head of hair for my 4-year-old. So I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna buy the hair, and I don't mind doing this. I do usually prefer the pre-stretched to the already tapered ending, so you can kind of see how that is tapered more at the ends now. So that's kind of a little intro. I'm gonna keep doing more of these videos for you guys because I often have people asking about tutorials for doing my daughter's hair. So I'm gonna try to share more. I'll get a little bit more fancy with my video as we go along. You'll see the progression. I'm about to dip into YouTube a little bit more seriously, but not seriously like I'm gonna be serious, but just, you know what I mean. So keep watching, and I'm gonna give you some close-ups and some just information on how to do these box braids and give you a close-up look tomorrow during the day when I'm halfway done. All right, so I have her hair sectioned out, and I take like you could do an edge cream, a locking cream, a twist gel. I usually like to make sure we have a conditioner in her hair before we start braiding, but however you're gonna do your sections, you just wanna have those nice, have the hair detangled, obviously prior to braiding. So I'm gonna teach you guys how I section these out and then how I start a box braid. And this is the knotted type. I think this one it is. It's not the knotless. So I'm going to section, I usually section out 2 sides at once. And then I'm going to clip everything else out of the way. All right, so we have our section here. I have the gel in it to start this section. I'm going to take my hair, and it's going to be dependent on the sections, how big the sections are. I don't want to have too thick of a piece in unless you want that to be what the hair looks like.
Mama, we not do 2 braids.
Okay, sweetie. I usually like to separate it up a little bit, just get the ends nice. All right, so now I'm going to take this and I put it around my fingers like this. Okay, hold still, Ro. And then I'm going to take this section of hair and I'm putting it around and looping it through. Okay, I'm gonna pull tight, and at this moment I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna start my twist. I make sure it's tight, and then I just start braiding. A couple braids down, I separate this strand with the real strand of hair. So then I get some of the real hair and some of the fake hair in these. And I start evening out those braids so that there's a little bit of her real hair in all 3 strands of this braid. Now I do braid pretty quick, so once I get the flow of this, I usually can whip out this rest of this braid pretty quickly. But take your time, make sure, see I'm getting to the end of her real hair here, make sure that those get tucked in. This can be a good time if you want to add a little bit of extra gel just to make sure, hold on Rose, stay up there sweetie. Make sure that you seal those ends down within the braid. Hi, Zai. No, Arrow, you need to sit up, sweetie. And then I'm going to be bringing this all the way down. All right, so now we're at the end of the braid, and there's a couple different ways that you can finish off a braid. You could usually like boil hot water, and then I'll put them in a bowl, and I soak the braids, dip them in for about 10 to 15 seconds, not the whole strand, just the ends, and that usually seals it. Other ways you can do is just like a simple ponytail. Sometimes we've done the burning method. This is obviously fake hair, and we will burn the ends and then it kind of shrivels up. The ends do get a little hard and sometimes it gets caught on clothing and things like that, so we don't often do that method, but it is available. Today I'm ending all of her braids with 2 beads, so I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that. I just fold this. Because I have really large beads, I can just pop these on and I just pop it through. If you are using smaller beads like pony beads, you might need a bead. It's like it puts beads on, but we just use bobby pins, and I can always do a tutorial on how to do the bobby pins and end the braids on. So I have my 2 beads here. What's wrong, Ro?
I fake.
You're faking it? Okay. I have my 2 beads on here, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it over right here. Arrow, can you stop your faking, Goosey? And then I'm just going to wrap this ponytail around this one. So now you have this tail right there. Okay, Ro. And I'm just going to cut these ends off and make sure that you don't cut that ponytail. And then this is what you are left with. If you have some pieces sticking out like this is all the fake hair. I just cut these off and try to smooth out the braid a little bit more. Because Arrow is 4 years old, her braids aren't super well taken care of. She's wild and running and wrestling, and so it's not necessarily, I don't get expensive hair for her. I don't mind if it isn't perfect because she is 4 and she's rambunctious, and so her hair doesn't always, you know, stay in great shape. And just make sure that when you do have this protective style, that you're taking care of the scalp, that you're putting oil on it or moisturizer, and then that you're wrapping the hair every night, whether that's with like a silk scarf or a bonnet. So we try to make sure it will help protect their hair, but it also will protect that style so that the braids stay more intact for longer. So I will show you guys, I'm gonna get some braiding done and I will show you guys the full after when we're all done with the hairstyle.
Depending on the type of style we're doing, it normally takes me 2 to 3 hours per head to braid. One thing you'll notice with these fast forward parts of this video is that I am moving a lot. I tend to do a lot of leg stretches and squats for the entirety of my braiding sessions. Not only does it kind of just keep my body moving, but also I notice that my back is less sore. When I am continually moving while I'm braiding, my body feels better for the whole time. Often people ask if my hands and my fingers get sore, and actually they really don't. I think I'm just accustomed to braiding, and I can go, 3 hours per head and do 4 girls, all 4 of my daughters back to back, and I really don't have any problems with my fingers or hands. I do notice my back stiffening up if I do not move, but if I stay moving, I feel really good. So that's what I do. That's why you see all of that. And the girls always get to pick a movie while we do braiding. I usually like to finish them in one session, but we get snacks and we get a movie and we just all have a good time together. And the styles can last anywhere between 2 weeks and 2 months, depending on what we do and how big of sections we use.
Here is Arrow's finished hairstyle. Arrow, do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let me see the back. Turn around. So we have a lot of braids in here, and I put about 2 beads on the end of every braid. Some of it was a little bit shorter hair because I ran out of that pack right at the end. But I did square sections. I actually prefer to do triangle sections most of the time, but we did square. And you like it, sweetie? Do you like it? Oh, I get snuggies. Oh.
Cassie.
Yeah, hold on. Let me do a spin. Let me see you spin. Spin it out. Woo! Don't fall. Don't fall. Oh my! So pretty. So pretty.